Namaste everyone. I'm going to do Cancer Rising today. So if you have a friend or a family member, if you're a Cancer Riser, this video is for you so it could help you better understand yourself or your family or your friends. Cancer Rising is a very placid sign. It's a very placid rising sign. It could be likened to a lake that's serene and you could hear the crickets in the background, and that's the symbol of being still inside and hearing our inner thoughts. Okay, it could be likened to meditation, and it also represents motherhood because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And speaking of the moon has to do with changing our emotions. Okay, and Cancer risings are known to be very moody because they're constantly changing their moods and they're very sensitive. Okay, if you have a lot of fire sign in you, you have to be very careful speaking to someone with strong Cancer aspects because they might think that if you are angry, you're angry at them. Let's say that you walk inside of a room and there's a Cancer riser there, and you are mad because someone told you something and you're just thinking about it, but your facial expressions are just, mad. Cancer riser is going to absorb that energy and they're going to project anger too, okay? And they're going to project anger against you, and they're going to say, well, you don't have to give me that attitude, And you're going to say, okay, what are they talking about? And they'll say, yeah, you don't have to give me that attitude. And you're gonna say, what's wrong with this person? And then if you don't get it, if you don't realize that they are reflecting your attitude, okay, you're gonna be guessing forever. But I learned after observing a Cancer, if you want to know how you feel, just look at a Cancer person, okay? And they're going to reflect whatever it is that you're feeling. And it's incredible. And after that, you're gonna say, no, I wasn't mad at you. I was integrating right now and had some sort of feeling, and then that'll calm them down, but that actually would still have them a little bit in doubt inside of them. Like, oh, they were just trying to be nice to me, but they were actually mad at me. So Cancer could be a very difficult sign to deal with. Okay, you have to really be patient to deal with them. Okay, be tactful too, because any little thing could hurt them. If you want to get with a Cancer person, you have to make sure that you love their mother, because their mother is like the most important thing in their life. Now, Cancer rising has Leo in the second house, meaning that they need a lot of security. Security is very important to them. That's like their spotlight in their chart. Security is very important to them. They need to feel safe in their surroundings in order for them to share themselves. If they don't feel safe, then they're not going to open up, okay? And that's why feeling safe and being in a home or in a house or having possessions that make them feel, at home is very important. That's why Leo is in the second house, okay? Because that's the shining area for Cancer, the house. Third house of the Cancer risers, we have Virgo. And what did I just say in the beginning of this video? That they could pick up anything from you. And it doesn't mean that they're psychic, but they just reflect, because the symbol of the Cancer is like a stillness in the water. So if you have Virgo in the third house, what is Virgo? Virgo is very analytical, okay? They're very picky in detail. So when you have Virgo in the third house of communication, they communicate in a very detailed way. Hey, how do you feel today? You don't look like you feel good because I could see how you're acting. See, those are little details that they pick up, and that's how they communicate. Now, Cancer rising has Libra in the fourth house. And what does that mean? It means that they need harmony, and because that's what Libra is. Libra likes harmony, and they need harmony in their family, okay, in their private life. They don't need drama. They don't like drama. Everything needs to be still in order for them to be functional, okay, in terms of their family. And the fourth house is ruled by Cancer, okay? So when you have Libra there, that's what it means. They need a lot of harmony in order to be functional. Now, Scorpio falls in their fifth house, and this means that they need someone very deep when it comes to romance, okay? And because Scorpio is very deep, and in order for them to open up, they need someone that could be able to not just understand them, physically, but understand them emotionally. Okay, that's very important for a Cancer. And that's why Scorpio falls in the fifth house of activities and children and fun. Sagittarius falls in their sixth house. This is the area where Cancer could let loose, okay, in their routine. They could be a little bit carefree, maybe come a little bit late in appointments because they don't want to be tied down to a certain routine, okay? They could be a little lazy too. Capricorn falls in their 7th house of partnership, meaning that they need someone who is a little bit more stronger than them, okay? And Capricorn is their opposite, okay? And what is Capricorn? Capricorn is that sign that doesn't show a lot of emotions. Doesn't mean that they're not emotional, but they just don't show the emotion, okay? It pertains more to business rather than family. So they need someone who is stronger and will teach them to be a little bit more stronger and not to crack every time there's emotion, okay? Because Cancers do tend to crack down when there's a lot of emotions going on. Now, Aquarius falls in their 8th house of intimacy, meaning that Cancer is not overly sexual, okay? Cancer is one of those signs that really needs a lot of tending to. But when you put Aquarius in their 8th house, what does that mean? Is that they could be a little bit detached when it comes to intimacy. When you don't give them security, when you don't, make them feel valued, when you don't give them what they need, they could come off very, detached in the intimacy part, maybe a little bit cold. They need the lovemaking to be explained to them, okay, in a logical way so they could accept it and then feel comfortable in sharing themselves. Now, Cancer rising has Pisces in the 9th house, and what does this mean? It means that they would prefer religions that have to do with compassion, or teachings that have to do with compassion, because Pisces has to do with compassion. So any philosophy or any teaching that predicates itself upon compassion and giving to humanity and helping people, and then Cancer rising most likely follow it, okay, because Pisces falls in their 9th house. Now Aries falls in their 10th house of career and reputation, and they could come across as competitive. Now how is that? A Cancer rising coming across as competitive, a very sensitive one. Yeah, because now Cancer has a soft shell, but they could come off as crabby, like they're going to attack you with the claws. And when you put Aries in the 10th house, it comes across like these people are pioneers. They want to excel in career and they want to excel in their jobs and look, like they have everything under control. Now Taurus falls in their 11th house of society and friends. And what it means is that Cancer would prefer a very quiet, calm, and slower paced place to meet friends or to be with friends, rather than a noisy club to be with someone. Okay, because a Taurus has to do with patience, calmness, steadiness. And when you put Taurus in the 11th house of friends and society, what it gives is a person that's very smooth and easygoing. Cancer rising has Gemini in the 12th house. What it means is that they have to learn how to be a little bit more communicative instead of feeling too much. Learn how to communicate those feelings inside instead of just jumping into conclusion too quickly. Gemini has to do with the mind, with communicating, with being clear. So Cancer really needs to be a little bit more clear. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and namaste.